Was ist dein Name, bitte?
Mein Name ist Richard Strelo.
Was ist dein Name, bitte?
My name is Richard Strelo.
Was ist dein Name, bitte?
My Name is Richard Strelo.
Two of these people are imposters. Only one is the real Richard Strelo, and is the only one sworn to tell the truth. Now, here is our host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth, brought to you this week by Rise Instant Lather, the inventor of aerated shaving. For smoothest shaves in half the time, get Rise, America's largest selling shave cream. Panel, I have some news for you tonight. I went to see our Polly yesterday. She's home from the hospital, and looks lovely, of course, as she always does, but you'll be glad to know she feels fine. And she wanted me to tell you all that, mind you, she was operated on Monday night. Tuesday night, she watched the show in the hospital, and she guessed all three correctly, the only time she's ever done it. She said she thinks maybe she'll carry a little can of anesthesia with her the next time she goes back to the show. Incidentally, there's a great series of pictures on Polly in Look magazine. And sitting in for Polly tonight, a lovely gal who is going to really knock him dead on the summer circuit this year in The King and I, Betty White. And next to her, star of Sunrise at Campobello, Mr. Ralph Bellamy. Then the lady who she was such a hit on Person to Person just last Friday, Miss Kitty Carlisle. And the man we're proud to say captured himself an Emmy in this year's awards, Tom Poston. Panel, will you please follow along with your copies of this first affidavit as I read it? I, Richard Strelo, work in the city of West Berlin, Germany, as a chimney sweep. I am also a soccer player and have played in international competition in Holland, England, and Sweden. We are now touring the United States, playing against American soccer clubs. I am the captain of the West Berlin All-Star Soccer Team. Signed, Richard Strelo. Panel, as you heard, three gentlemen all claiming to be Richard Strelo, chimney sweep, soccer player. Now, we have a slight different thing confronting us tonight, panel, with a language barrier. And at least number two is bilingual, so even though you address your questions as usual to numbers 1, 2, or 3, they will be interpreted by number 2, and he will relay the answer to you, okay? All right, we'll start the question tonight with Tom Poston. Tom?
Thank you, Bud. Number 1, by way of number 2, is that right, Bud? What is the name of the union you belong to? Number 1?
No, that's number 1.
Was ist der Name of die Gesellschaft, du arbeitest?
A little louder so we can
Was ist der Name of die Gesellschaft, du gehörst zu?
Zentralverband Deutscher Schornsteinfeger.
Should I translate that,
yes,
or is
please.
it good enough?
No, translate it if you will.
That is the Association of the Chimney Sweeps in West Berlin.
Is that what he... How do I know that's what he said?
I can assure you.
I'll tell you what.
Now,
Would you ask number 1, translate what you said he said to me, back to him, and ask him if that's what he really said?
Könntest du übersetzen, was ich gesagt habe, in Englisch?
Nein.
No.
I assure you that all translations made by number 2 are going to be absolutely accurate. There will be no hanky-panky about that. Betty White, please.
Thank you, Bud. Number 3, how long is a soccer game?
Wie lang dauert ein Spiel, ein Fußballspiel?
Eine Stunde.
1 hour.
Number 2, would you spell your last name for me, please?
Strehlew.
Number 1, how many men on a soccer team?
Wie viele Leute spielen auf einem Fußballmannschaft?
11 Mann.
11.
Number 3, what is your address in West Berlin?
Frühhofstraße.
You want number...
Number 3.
Number
What is
3.
what is
number
number
3?
3's
What his
address?
address is.
Wo wohnst du in Berlin?
35 Lichtenthaler Allee.
I know those were different.
35 Lichtensthalallee in Berlin.
Ole. Yes, I know.
Ale.
Ralph Bellamy, please.
Number three, what are the tools of a chimney sweep?
Mit was arbeitest du, wann du putzt?
Na, ich habe einen langen Kabel und eine Kugel und ein paar Bürsten.
He has a long cable, he has a ball, and besides that, he has, was war das?
Bürsten.
Herr Büsten.
All right, that'll do it. I know it said that.
A broom.
A broom.
A broom.
Number one, what do you do with what you sweep out of the chimney?
Ask Kitty.
Whom did you answer?
Number one.
Was machst du mit dem Schmutz?
Ring the bell on that.
Der Schmutz wird von der Schotten.
Was machst du mit dem Schmutz? All right, Kitty.
Der Schmutz, der wird von der Schornsteinsohle entfernt.
Huh? Does that answer your question, Kitty?
He actually carries it away.
The schmutz.
He carries it away.
All right, Kitty.
Who is the coach of the soccer team?
Franz Wagner.
Number 3, who is the coach of the soccer team?
Romy Schneider.
Oh boy, I forgot.
Number 3! Do you speak English?
All right.
I speak English?
Time to vote, panel. It's time to vote. I have only one comment to make at this point. Es muss etwas geschehen, nicht wahr? All right, without consultation, will you mark your ballots, please, and select number 1, number 2, or number 3? And remember that the team of challengers will get $250 for every incorrect vote. Okay, family, all set? Betty, who did you vote?
Well, I don't think it's number 2 because he didn't spell his last name correctly, or at least the way it is on our affidavit. And I think number 1 is Danny Kaye, so I think it's number 3.
Okay, Ralph.
Number three, I think they probably all speak English and maybe they're all soccer players, but number three has big, hefty underpinnings there, and I think maybe he's the soccer player.
Okay, Kitty.
I voted for number 1 because he's the only one small enough to get in a chimney. And he told me what he did with the schmutz that he had to
All right, Tom.
Oh, I did too. I thought I'd be the only one. I don't know, something about the way he didn't answer the questions. He did. He answered the questions, but I don't speak German at all, so I had to take number 2's word for it. I, for some reason, thought it wasn't number 2, and I wished I could have seen number 1's legs because.
All right, there we have it. The votes are all in, and we've made up our schmutzes. So let's find out now which one of these 3 gentlemen is the chimney sweep soccer player. So will the real Richard Strelo please stand up?
Will der richtige Richard Strelo aufstehen?
Dankeschön. Betty still thinks he's Danny Kaye, but... And now, sir, would you tell us who you really are and what you do?
My name is Ernest Eckstein. I was born in Czechoslovakia. I'm an American citizen, and I'm a pre-packaging consultant for the Yorkville Paper Company in New York.
Thank you, sir. Now, number 3, what about you, sir?
My name is Frederick Selby. I'm also an American citizen. And I'm a sales representative for Bird Air Structures in the New York and surrounding area.
Well, then, don't go yet till I check on the score here. You may want to find out how much you won from our panel. 2 guessed right and 2 guessed wrong. So the 2 that were wrong give you a total of $250 each of $500 from Rise. And on your way out, gentlemen, you'll find a year's supply of Rise Instant Lather for each of you. Good night and good luck. Now, panel, let's meet our next group of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Wickham Livermore
Stivers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Wickham Livermore Stivers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Wickham Livermore Stivers.
Okay, panel, follow along again, will you please, on your copies of this affidavit. I, Wickham Livermore Stivers, am a rocket and missile reporter at Cape Canaveral, Florida. I cover the launchings and other activities for the British Reuters News Service. I also broadcast on-the-spot missile firings for a group of 6 radio stations around the country. On July 23rd, 1958, a mouse was shot into space. The commanding general of Cape Canaveral decided to let the press representatives give it a name. The mouse was named after me. Signed, Wickham Livermore Stivers. These 3 ladies claim to be Wickham Livermore Stivers, rocket and missile reporter. Let's begin this round with Betty White.
Thank you, Bud. Number 1, it says here that the mouse in the rocket was named after you. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
You mean that one tiny little mouse was named Wickham Livermore Stivers?
No, it was named Wiki, which is what I'm commonly called.
Oh, well, that's a little better. Number 2, what is perihelion?
Now, that's a good question.
I didn't think so. Number 3, what is perihelion?
Part of the stratosphere.
Number 1, what is perihelion?
I don't know.
Number 2, who is Roy Neal?
Roy Neal is the NBC correspondent from California that comes down quite often.
Ralph?
Number 1, what was the procedure by which resulted in the mouse being named Wickham Livermore Stivers? Was it a vote? What was the procedure?
The mouse was named by the press people at the Cape, and at that time it was the Air Force left it up to the press people, and since the mouse was drinking water from a wick, and my name is Wiki, they named it Wiki.
Number 2, does the name Brandy Griffiths mean anything to you?
It certainly does. He's one of our favorite people.
Well, could you be a little bit more explicit?
Leave it right there. Kitty Carlisle, please. I'd like you to know he's one of my favorite people, too.
Number 2, I don't know what he's telling you. He made that name up or not, so I'm not going to pursue it. Number 2, how did you get a name like a pretty girl like you, like Wickham? Well, my great-grandfather was mayor of New York City back in 1875. His name was William Wickham, and I was named Wickham after him. But you went to the South after that. I sure did.
Deep South. Tom Poston, please.
Number 3, where do you live in Florida?
Cocoa.
Where?
I live in Cocoa.
No wonder you're so brown. Can you tell me, number 2, what new fuel has just been announced as a rocket propellant, much more powerful than what they've been using?
It's the new liquid hydrogen, which is up to 3 times more powerful than the liquid oxygen, which is now in use.
Well, you certainly got them all, haven't you? Number 1, do you know the name of the fellow that Ralph Bellamy was asking number 2 about?
Brandy Griffith? Yes, I do.
Time to vote, panel. Without consultation, will you please mark your ballot and select, if you will, number 1, number 2, or number 3. All set, panel? Ready? For whom did you vote this time?
Well, Polly, I need some of your anesthetic. I really do, but I'm going to go for number 2 on the strength of Roy Neal.
Okay. What about your vote, Ralph?
Number 2, I think she was a little evasive at times, but I'm not fooled by the tan on number 3. I think number 2 had most of the answers.
Kitty?
Number 2, also because of the answers.
And Tom?
I tell you, they're treacherous here. There's a guy that briefs these people that's unbelievable in his ability to get them to remember facts and figures that they might not otherwise know. I didn't get a chance to ask number 1 2 pertinent questions, but I had a feeling that maybe she's named Wiki.
Okay, there you have it now with our voting, and I don't know how you're doing at home, but I hope you're voting along with us, and let's find out now how right or wrong you and we may be. So we discover which one of these ladies is the real rocket and missile reporter by asking the real Wickham Livermore Stivers to please stand up. Well, Tom hit that one right on the head, and a pretty hit it was, too. Number 2, would you tell us who you really are and what you do?
Yes, I'm Sandy Simpson from Barrie, Vermont. I was Miss Vermont in the Miss America pageant, and I am currently a program director for the Pepsi-Cola Company.
Now with a mighty good memory, too. Number 3, what about you?
My name is Violet Fett. I live in Woodhaven, Long Island. I'm a housewife, and I have a 19-year-old son of the paratroops.
Have it now, and it's checking up on our score. We find that there were 1, 2, 3 incorrect votes at $250 each for a total of $750, girls, from Rise. And on your way out, you will pick up a gift package of all of Carter's fine products. Good night and good luck to all of you. Now, ladies, let's see how easy it is to be completely safe and sure of yourselves at all times and in any situation. And now, panel, let's meet our third team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Gordon Curry.
What is your name, please?
My name is Gordon Curry.
What is your name, please?
My name is Gordon Curry.
Once again, panel, follow along, if you will, please, with your copies of this affidavit. I, Gordon Curry, am a caricaturist. During World War II, I was an official war artist with the British Pacific Fleet. Here in the States, I had my own TV show and wrote and illustrated a column for a major daily newspaper. At the present time, I'm on a national personal appearance tour with my Faces of Fame gallery of more than 100 caricatures of world personalities. Some of the people I have caricatured in person are the Duke of Windsor, Jane Mansfield, Chiang Kai-shek, Bob Hope, Harry Truman, Marilyn Monroe, Prime Minister Macmillan, Red Skelton, and President Eisenhower. Signed, Gordon Curry. All right, panel, here we have 3 gentlemen, each claiming to be Gordon Curry, caricaturist. Now, during the questioning, these gentlemen will all be sketching. Don't let this bother you in any way. Just go right ahead with your questions, and we start them with Kitty Carlisle. Kitty?
Thank you, Bud. Number 1, how tall is the Duke of Windsor?
Well, I don't know exactly, but I would say probably about 5'7", 5'7.5".
Number 3, what is the color of Mr. Truman's eyes? Number 3?
Oh, you are asking me? Oh,
yes.
I'm terribly sorry. Mr. Truman's eyes, I think they're light gray.
Number 2, those are very interesting caricatures. What is the process you use?
This is a Vermica process, which is laminated under great heat and pressure.
Which is what under pressure?
Laminated under great heat and pressure.
Number 1, what paper ran your column?
Well, I worked for the Globe in Boston. Boston Globe.
Tom Poston.
Oh, thank you, Bud. Number 1, can you tell me, identify, please, as a caricaturist, guard. Number 1.
I beg your pardon?
Now, now listen, Gordon. Can you identify guard? Can you identify guard as a caricaturist?
Could I identify him? Well, he did the Sardi drawing.
Can you tell me, perhaps, who is the current Sardi caricaturist?
I'm afraid I don't know.
Number 2, could you tell us quickly if you...
I don't believe anybody knows. I don't.
Number 3?
No, I draw for money, not for food.
How much will you do for $3?
Betty White, please.
Thank you, Bud. And much as I hate to do this, in the interest of honesty, I have to disqualify myself, and I hate to do it because it's my one chance to be right and weak. But I had the pleasure of working with Mr. Curry on a television show that I had a long time ago out in California. So what's it worth to you, kids?
Same $3, go.
All right. We'll count that as the wrong count, the wrong guess, and wrong vote when we come to totaling up the scores, and we move on to Ralph Bellamy. Ralph?
Number 1, who was the First Lord of the Admiralty when you were with the British fleet?
Viscount Horn.
Number 2, who was the commander of the Pacific Fleet at that time?
Lieutenant Commander Perkins.
Number 3, which side of Bob Hope's nose is the mole?
You know... I have never been very nasal with Bob Hope.
Number one, the same question. Which side of Bob Hope's nose is the
I think it's in the middle, isn't it?
That's it. That's all the time we have. No more. No, it's time to vote right now. And so will you please mark your ballots, and in so doing, as you did before, vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3. All set? Betty, for who this time? Number 7. Yours is the wrong vote. Okay, right.
Number 2, and to be perfectly honest, only because I think I detected a slight blush when Betty disqualified herself.
And yours, Kitty?
Well, I voted for number 3. You mixed me up on Perkins. He blushed when he said Perkins, so I voted.
And Tom, your vote, please.
Gee, I just touted myself off my own answer this very last minute. I'll stay with number 1, though. He answered his questions fair and square, and Guard is they used to do the caricatures at Sardi's. But don't you know that Don Bevan does them now, gentlemen? Gordon, I'm surprised at you.
All right, there you have it with our votes and the reasons why we voted the way we did. And we'll discover right now which one of these 3 gentlemen is the real Gordon Curry. Now, I shall pick up these drawings, hold them up back toward me so that the panelists do not see them. Put them all together here. Okay. There we are.
Betty can tell us much, you know.
Yes, I know. I know. There you have it. Now, this caricature of Kitty Carlisle, titled Kitty up here, was obviously drawn by the real caricaturist, Gordon Curry. So, will the real Gordon Curry please stand up?
I got it!
Very much, Gordon. All right, we'll move on to the next one now. It's obvious that you 2 remaining gentlemen drew these others, so... All right. Which of you confesses the responsibility for this one?
My name is Sam Lithgow, and I'm Interline Sales Officer in USA for British Overseas Airways Corporation.
Thank you very much. Now, obviously, sir, number 1, you are responsible for this one. Would you tell us first who it is? Is it Tom or is it Ralph?
It's you. Why, that's you, Mr.
That is a picture of me? May I ask what you do for a living, sir? What is your name and what do you do?
Well, my name is Bruce Finnis, and I'm representative for Berber's Limited of London, England, makers of overcoats and raincoats.
Well, I thank you very much. Well, but Polly got a kick out of watching those. Just kidding.
May I say that I generally loathe caricatures of myself, but I think this one's wonderful. Thank you.
The nicest thing you could say.
There it is.
I got bored. No, I like it.
Well, it's not what I'd call a caricature, but maybe it is. I don't know. Isn't a caricature picking out the most prominent features?
Well, actually, it's a case of taking the...
I thought I'd let him weasel out of this.
You take the outstanding characteristics of the person, like Bob Hope's nose, Jerry Colonna's
Kitty Carlisle's mouth.
Yeah.
The size of it. Well, that's what you do. You look for something outstanding, don't you?
I really do. Clark Gable's ears and so on, and also in Betty White's case, a glorious personality. I remember the fun we had when we appeared together in Hollywood.
Well, it was fun, Gordon. I'm sorry I couldn't. I would have loved to have cheated a little. And then,
But you're prettier now than you were then, and you were glorious then.
Shall we just leave?
Yeah, let's all get up and go. We might as well. Very going to get in the life of Elizabeth there. All right, gentlemen, it was a lot of fun. And in checking the score, we find that there were 1, 2, plus Betty's disqualification, which makes it 3 incorrect votes at $250 each, for a total of $750, gentlemen. Which is not a bad evening's work for a caricaturist, I guess we could call you.
By the way, way, Bart, you forgot to mention, if you don't mind me saying so, that my next appearance is at the M&T Bank in Buffalo.
That's a good place to appear, believe me. Put your money in there. And on your way out, you will find a year's supply of Rise Instant Lather for each of you. Good night, gentlemen. Good luck. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Now a word from our all-in-it sponsor, Marlboro. You get better makings in a Marlboro. That's all the time we have for tonight, so good night, panel.
Good night, Bud.
This is Bud Collier saying good night for Arid Cream Deodorant and Rise Instant Lather and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
To Tell the Truth is the Mark Goodson, Bill Godwin production in association with the CBS Television Network.